Today we are going to read a story that is a fractured fairy tale. The name of the story is The Three Little Super Pigs Once Upon a Time. And we have read fractured fairy tales and talked about them before. And as we remember, a fractured fairy tale is a story that uses familiar fairy tales that we know. And then they change the characters, setting, which is the place, or points of view. They change the story around a little bit, the plot. And usually they're pretty funny and a lot of fun. First, we're going to go ahead and do our vocabulary. So let's talk about some of the words that we are going to find in this story. First of all, defeated, which we know means to win victory over. Cunning means trickery. And startled, that's right, means surprised, frightened. Cluttered, to fill or cover with scattered things. In a sentence, Terry's room was cluttered with toys after Tycon came over to play. Destination, that's a place to which someone is going or something is sent. Colleen kept her destination a secret until she returned from her vacation. And the last word is debris. This word is funny because it's spelled differently. It has a silent S at the end, so it's D-E-B-R-I-S, debris. It's something that's discarded or rubbish. Jennifer helped collect debris after the fair. Now, those are our words, and we're going to go ahead and start our story. And it's called The Three Little Super Pigs Once Upon a Time. And the author is Claire Evans, and here's the picture. I know you're going to adore this story. Okay. Once upon a time, there were three little pigs. They dreamed of being superheroes. In fact, they were so obsessed that their family house became cluttered with all of their superhero collections. Cluttered. Toys, things, collections all over the place. A mess. So one day, Mother Pig told her little superheroes it was time to find their own homes, and she waved goodbye. They walked for hours, crossing dangerous rivers and climbing steep cliffs. Okay. Until finally they arrived at their destination, the place they were going, Fairyland. After an exhausting trip, the pigs decided to set up camp for the night and build their new homes in the morning. While toasting marshmallows in their superhero costumes, the pigs met a new friend, Little Red Riding Hood. She warned them about the big bad wolf who'd been terrorizing Fairyland. The wolf had kidnapped Mary's little lamb and stolen sheep's clothing. He'd even disguised himself as different grandmas and stolen their clothing. The pigs were warned to be on their guard. They need to have their guard up. They need to be vigilant because they don't want it to happen to them. The next morning, two of the pigs were desperate to play superheroes with their new friends, so they built their houses as quickly as possible. The first little pig chose straw to build his house, and he gathered all of the straw that he could find. The second little pig chose to build his house out of sticks, and he collected them from high and low. And in no time at all, their new homes were ready. How cool are their houses? They look pretty neat, don't they? But can they handle the storm? While the two brothers were having fun, the third little pig was patiently building his house of bricks. He wanted to make sure it was strong and sturdy, so he worked very hard. Finally, all three houses were ready, and the pigs were very happy in their new homes. Suddenly, the first little pig was startled by a terrible growl outside his window. It was the big bad wolf. Little pig, let me come in, he cried. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin, squealed the panicked pig. Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in, growled the wolf. Whoosh! And with one puff, he blew the house in. Okay. The first little pig ran for cover to his big brother's house of sticks. Little pigs, let me come in, bellowed the wolf. Not by the hairs of our chinny chin chin, cried the pigs. Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in. So he huffed and he puffed and whoosh! He blew the stick house right in. Dodging the flying sticks and falling debris, the two little pigs ran as quickly as they could to their brother's house of bricks, narrowly escaping the nasty wolf who was getting very angry and very hungry. Little pigs, let me come in, demanded the wolf. Not by the hairs of our chinny chin chins, they replied. Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in, screamed the wolf. So he huffed and he puffed and he huffed and he puffed, but the brick house would not blow in. The wolf was furious. He was more than angry. He was furious, very mad. Suddenly the pigs were startled by a loud clanging noise from outside. The cunning big bad wolf had made another plan to climb onto the roof and sneak down the chimney. Two of the pigs started to panic, but the third pig had a super plan. He had been boiling a pan of water on the fire all along. So as the wolf came hurtling down the chimney, he fell bottom first into the bubbling hot pan. With a piercing shriek, he jumped out of the water and straight into the pig's net. The big bad wolf was defeated. The pigs waved goodbye to the silly old wolf as he was carted off to prison. With Fairyland safe at last, the pigs' dreams of becoming real superheroes had finally come true, as the whole town cheered their special new name. Hooray for the three super... Hooray for the three little super pigs! What a neat ending. And here we see our fox in jail. He's gone. So let's talk about the moral of the story. First of all, let's talk about why do we think this story was written? We know that authors write stories for three reasons, right? And we know what they are. They stand for P-I-E, for pie. So why would an author write this book? Did he write it to teach you something? Did he write it? Very good. He wrote it for your enjoyment, to entertain you, and I hope it did. And there's other books in this set that we're going to read as well. I'd like you to think about the moral of the story. What was the story about? What are they trying to tell you? One thing we learned in this story is that the third brother took his time. He worked hard on his house, and that's why his house was sturdy, right? Where the other ones, they just threw their houses together and ran out to play. So sometimes it's more worth to take the time to do things correctly the first time. I hope you enjoyed the story, and I will see you soon with the next one. Happy reading.